Heavy rain continues to fall across parts of central and eastern Kentucky. Coming up, we'll track what is out there and show you what is yet to come.
A busy day for emergency managers in Montgomery County as flash flooding forced many roads to close for part of the day.
You've seen the construction on Nicholasville Road. Coming up, we'll give you an inside look at the summit at Fritz Farm.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
And good evening. Heavy rain continues to fall across much of Kentucky tonight, and the threat for flash flooding continues.
Yeah, you can see all of that rain that we are tracking right now on the Defender radar network. It is a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Hi, Chris.
Hi, guys. A little good news out there. No active warnings across central and eastern Kentucky, so that is welcome, considering how we started out the day with a lot of flash flooding reports. That Defender radar network with thunderstorms across southeastern Kentucky starting to kick it up just a little bit along the Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia border areas. Bell County looking in your direction with some of those heavier rains getting into Harlan County, parts of Leslie County, and to the north we start to see an overall lighter trend for the rain as we get north of the Mountain Parkway toward Interstate 64. So that's certainly welcome news. This is an area that was worked over earlier today by 2, 3, and even some local 4-inch amounts across parts of central Kentucky. Up close and personal on the Lexington Metro, things have been drying up for the past little bit, but look what is popping on top of the capital city of Frankfort and surrounding areas. A couple of little showers, and don't be surprised if we don't hear a rumble of thunder over the next hour and change. That's going to try to connect with a little cluster of thunderstorms continuing to pop here south of Bloomington, north of the Louisville area. And what typically happens in a setup like this, when you look at a radar picture and you see some little storms out ahead of a bigger cluster of some thunderstorms, typically it's showing you where the instability is and where those storms are going to run to. So as we go through the next few hours, what comes in from northwest to southeast, maybe that little cluster of thunderstorms. And the future radar shows that happening. It is running right toward the Bluegrass region and weakening into the latter part of the evening. But then early tomorrow, same future radar begins to fire up some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Guys, just ahead, we'll track additional rounds of boomers into the weekend. I'll show you why the flash flood threat isn't over yet.
All right, Chris, we'll see you in just a bit. Heavy rain quickly led to flash flooding in parts of Montgomery County today.
Now take a look at this eyewitness picture Victoria sent us. She says this is what Spencer Road in Mount Sterling looked like this afternoon. Many of the problems in that area were around Hingston Creek, which rose right out of its banks. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell continues our top story team coverage.
Rounds of heavy rain that fell overnight and early this morning caused water from Hingston Creek to spill over into the roadway here. And it almost threatened one of the machine shops that's located just across the road. It's a concern that the owner has seen before. Unfortunately, Ron Triplett knows what happens when Hingston Creek gets out of its banks. He has a machine shop right across the road.
Last year in May or April, we had 5 feet of water in there. 5 feet. Took out everything I had.
Unlike his previous issues with the high water, today Ron is trying to battle back.
Well, I'm trying to put a little berm up. Hopefully it's the rain won't be no more than what it's showing. And that thing will have time to recede and keep it out of my shop.
This area along East Main Street is one that is flood prone.
It seems like they could correct that. I'm upset because if it continues to rain, I'll have 3 feet of water in there in no time.
Now, folks around here are also happy to see the rain exit the area. The problem is we still have some showers to go through here this evening. In Mount Sterling, I'm WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Jim, thank you. And flash flooding also causing some problems in parts of northeastern Kentucky tonight. This eyewitness picture was taken in Olive Hill in Carter County. Emergency crews say that high water has covered many roads in the Mills Branch area, and they say that water is even affecting some homes and businesses. Remember, we can help you track storms with the WKYT Weather Plus traffic app. You can download it for free in the app or Google Play stores.
Last night at 6, we told you about a Menifee County family who says a fake GoFundMe page was started after their 4-year-old son died. Today, the woman that started that page says she had nothing but good intentions. The Tackett family says they never asked for donations through GoFundMe, but Georgina Reed says she saw friends talking about the family's loss on Facebook. She says she does not know the family, but claims she sent them a message and created the page. After hearing about the backlash, she says she contacted GoFundMe and had them refund money for people who donated the page.
Well, obviously, I want them to know, first of all, it was done with good intent to give something back to the tragedy that they've experienced.
Kentucky State Police investigated but said no charges will be filed against her.
Tonight, the Food and Drug Administration is recommending that blood banks in the Miami area stop collecting blood for now. This comes as health leaders investigate whether 4 cases of the Zika virus in South Florida were spread by mosquitoes on the U.S. mainland. The Kentucky Blood Center also says the FDA has asked blood centers around the country to not take blood donations from people who recently traveled to South Florida.
New tonight, state police hope some technology will help them solve a nearly 30-year-old cold case murder. Police released this digitally enhanced picture of the victim who has not been identified. They say the technology came from the National Missing and Unidentified Person System. Police say the man was found dead in 1989 in a tobacco barn on Highway 22 in Grant County. Police say the body was partially decomposed and both hands were cut off. They have not made any arrests for the murder.
Tonight, we've learned that United Parcel Service, UPS, is planning a major expansion at a hub here in Lexington. State leaders now tell us that the expansion is actually for the UPS facility on Mercer Road, not the one on Blue Sky Parkway. UPS plans to spend more than $100 million on the expansion. Today, the Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority approved offering UPS up to $500,000 in tax incentives for that expansion. After the expansion, UPS leaders say they will be able to sort up to 43,000 pieces per hour. They say it will help keep them up with current and future growth around Lexington. Many police departments around this country are now using body cameras for their officers, and soon the Lexington Police Department will join them.
Lexington Police announced today they now have a policy in place for the cameras, and they hope to begin using them next month. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner has the story.
I'm very excited to actually get this project in motion. We've been working on it for a long time. We've been doing our due diligence research.
For Commander Eric Lowe, it's been a long time waiting for body cameras.
One of the things that we've always tried to do as an agency is to learn from what we've done and encounters that we've had and calls that we've been to. And up to this point, the only thing we've had for reference is what the officers on scene saw.
These body cameras will be just another part of the uniform. Officers will put them on when they head into work and then take them off when they leave. The cameras have a point of view from the officer's collar. The rule is if officers are in contact with citizens, the camera has to be rolling. With the click of a button, an officer can turn on the camera. Here's a look at a mock traffic stop. You can both see and hear interaction.
Hello, I'm Officer Grimm, Lexington Police Department. Pulled you over because you ran that stop sign back there.
Commander Eric Lowe says the cameras are meant to increase transparency as well as protect officers.
The most serious thing that the police department could be involved in would be an incident where they were forced to use lethal force.
75 officers will hit the streets with the body cams by mid-August. In Lexington, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
And as she said, eventually 40 Lexington police officers will be equipped with those body cameras. Footage will be held onto for a minimum of 30 days.
We are learning more tonight about what police say led to the arrest of a man accused of a string of robberies in Lexington. Kelly Cox appeared in court to answer to robbery charges this afternoon. In the last week, police say he robbed 2 banks and a gas station. Police say they arrested him yesterday after his girlfriend recognized his picture on the news and called police. Police say that she told them Cox was using her car as his getaway car. Another robbery suspect, Sean Taylor, was also in court today. He's accused of robbing 2 banks and trying to rob a third in Lexington.
It is one of the newest and largest projects to be built in Lexington in years, the Summit at Fritz Farm on the corner of Nicholasville Road and Man o' War. The city has been anxiously waiting to see what the new shopping center will bring to the area. New at 6, our Andrea Walker met with the developers for an update on the progress.
It's been 5 years since Bear Properties started laying the groundwork for the summit at Fritz Farms. The shopping center was originally set to open this fall, but as David Silverstein, a principal developer of the project, explained to us this afternoon.
When you do a project of this size, you have to be a little flexible. And it became apparent with all of the infrastructure work that we needed to accomplish, it was better to push it to spring of 17.
It's no secret that locals have been anxiously waiting to see this project come to fruition. But as Silverstein explains, when you're building something from the ground up, it takes time to do it right.
We don't cut corners. We're very committed to understated elegance is the way I would put it. We committed to your city, to your council, to your neighborhoods, that we would do it the right way, and we're certainly going to live up to that commitment.
Focus group research helped developers come up with a plan to meet both the wants and needs of the community, which includes much more than shopping.
It's a mixed-use project. There will be freestanding apartments, but there will also be residential above retail. There will be office above certain parts of the project. We hope to bring a boutique hotel as part of the project as well.
Silverstein says the ultimate goal is to create an atmosphere where people can eat, work, shop, and live that is unique to an area he's come to love.
From the horse industry to UK to the Bourbon Trail, it's just a wonderful community and region, so we're very excited to be part of it.
The summit at Fritz Farm is set to open between late March and early April of next year. In Lexington, Andrea Walker, WKYT.
And we have a list of retailers along with renderings of the finished product on our website. Just go to WKYT.com. And tonight, the State Department of Highways has announced a new lane closure on Nicholasville Road as part of construction for the summit. Beginning Sunday night, the right northbound lane on Nicholasville Road between Man o' War and Tiverton Way will be closed from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. Sundays through Thursdays. State leaders say this project includes building an entrance to the summit and adding a lane for Nicholasville Road. They think the road project will be finished by the middle of October.
The 10th anniversary of the Comair crash, Flight 5191, is next month. And tonight, we're learning more about a memorial service being planned to remember all those victims. That's in 7 minutes.
And then we have an update on efforts to raise money for an Eastern Kentucky man so he can get a new device to help him see.
A lot of heavy rain out there today. Straight ahead, we'll look at an hour-by-hour forecast that shows additional rounds of heavy rain targeting parts of the region. A breakdown is just ahead. It's WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day, and we continue to see rounds of showers and thunderstorms into parts of the area. Eastern Kentucky, we've got steadier rains that are beginning to slowly push away from the area. Jackson down to Corbin, though, it's been like pulling teeth to get rid of the rain. Look at Frankfort. Had a little hint of some sunshine. Now it is wet with a pop-up shower right on top of you. Farther west you go, better the skies have been pretty much all day long. Here's the sky in Lexington. A hint of some sunshine. Now we're clouding it back over as some showers and thunderstorms develop to our northwest. Those may come rolling on in as we go through the rest of the evening. Southeastern Kentucky, thunderstorm kicking it up a little bit here from Bell County into sections of Harlan County. Watch those creeks and streams into those areas. Hazard, Jackson, and to the west here into Boonville and Beattyville. We're going to see the rain slowly turning off over the next little bit. Kind of an ugly commute down the Mountain Parkway right now. Eastbound on 64 out of Mount Sterling to Owingsville and Moorhead, looking a little better the farther east that we go. Lexington and Northwest. Now we start to see these little showers that are trying their best to grow into some thunderstorms. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we don't see a little lightning bolt show up on this over the next 10-15 minutes or so. That's the little soaker right on top of downtown Frankfort. Additional showers and thunderstorms are going to work in from northwest to southeast out of southern parts of Indiana. You see the break that we're getting across I-65 back into western Kentucky, where we steamed it up into the middle 80s today after heavy rains, flooding rains into parts of that area yesterday into the overnight. But then more thunderstorms are developing ahead of another front that is out there. That front makes a beeline toward the Bluegrass State over the next few days, kind of puts the brakes on again. Yeah, we've been there before, huh? And that's going to give us the threat for a few thunderstorms around. Now, tomorrow's not a repeat of today. Some locally heavy downpours. You'll have some sun. You'll have some thunderstorms that go up. Doesn't mean it's going to rain where you are, but boy, when it does rain, it's going to come down. Better chance for some more widespread stuff on Saturday. And Saturday may be a day when we see some additional flash flooding into the region. Storm or two left over on Sunday as we still run on the humid side. as this pattern just keeps on keeping on. Here's the hour by hour. 7 o'clock in the morning to noontime. Notice how we pop up some of those scattered thunderstorms, and that takes us into tomorrow afternoon as well, with temperatures that will range from the low to the mid-80s. Threat for a thunderstorm for those Friday evening plans. Let's go into Saturday. Get a little better coverage as the afternoon wears on, with showers and thunderstorms that will increase. And what is likely going to happen on Saturday, models may be underestimating the potential for some rains out there from Saturday into Saturday evening. So over the next few days, while it's not going to be just basically wall-to-wall soggy like what we had out there today, ground is full. It's been full pretty much all summer, but it is now super saturated. So the threat for a thunderstorm that can put down enough rains to cause some local high water issues. You got to keep in mind, guys, as the ground gets wetter and wetter, it takes less and less rain to actually cause some issues.
The rain just doesn't have anywhere to go, right?
That's right, exactly right. You walk outside, I think you mentioned it earlier, it's kind of a sponge. It just squishy. There you go.
All right, thanks, Chris.
We are learning more tonight about a planned memorial service to mark the 10th anniversary of the crash of Comair Flight 5191.
49 people died when that plane crashed near Bluegrass Airport on August 27, 2006. The memorial service will be held Saturday, August 27th at 10 a.m. at the UK Arboretum. Organizers announcing today that more than 300 family members and friends of the victims will attend, and they say Lexington Mayor Jim Gray, UK President Eli Capilouto, and former NTSB Chairwoman Deborah Hirschman will also be there. The service will be held near the memorial sculpture for the victims at the Arboretum.
Now to an update on a story that I first brought you yesterday on the young man in Floyd County raising money for a new device to help him see. Blake Fannin is the greeter at the Prestonsburg Walmart. He has no vision in one eye and very little in the other. He and his family are raising money for a pair of e-sight electronic glasses that allowed him to see for the very first time in his life. The glasses cost $15,000. Since our story aired, his GoFundMe page has jumped nearly $4,000. He is a third of the way there at just over $5,000. For more on how you can help, look for Blake's story on WKYT.com. And if you missed that story, you can also check it out there as well.
Yeah, quite a story.
Yes.
And just ahead, Mark Stoops and his coordinator speaking in Louisville, Rob.
Plenty of Kentucky fans over in Jefferson County. Stoops talked about his offense and his quarterback. And Anderson County may be coming off a losing year, but the Bearcats figure they'll be back in this coming season. Sports is next. For the Wildcats, the season is getting closer and closer. Next Friday, a week from tomorrow, is Media Day and then Fan Day on Saturday. But this week, the lunch circuit, including the Greater Louisville Alumni Luncheon this afternoon. Mark Stoops said most of this year's success could hinge on quarterback Drew Barker, who was named the starter in the spring. The coach thinks the UK offense has all the parts to be successful.
Consistency at wide receiver play is a big part of it. We've shown flashes and quarterback, of course. And I feel like we have a lot of pieces in place. We need that consistency, but it goes as your quarterback goes. And that guy needs to play well. He's got good pieces around him, but we need to be consistent, and I'm confident that we'll get that play this year.
And counting down to the start of the season, we're at 37 days. Greg Long, Shane Ball, Albert Burks all wore 37. Randall Cobb scored 37 touchdowns for the Wildcats. And Jeff Bidette was on the receiving end of a 37-yard touchdown pass versus Louisiana Lafayette last season. You can check out our countdown. Just go to WKYT.com. In 2015, Anderson County suffered its first losing season in a decade. Brian Milam tells us in 27 teams in 27 days, the Bearcats should be back to normal.
Last year, Anderson County was a mash unit at times. The Bearcats started 4 different centers in 11 games and never could find continuity. Hopefully that changes this season.
We have a really nice athletic group of linemen, so you know, Brendan Labhart is back for us at fullback, and we've got a lot of other people at skill positions that can chip in as well offensively.
The biggest change offensively is at quarterback. Gunnar Gillis is gone, and now Cade Cotton comes in to take over as Mark Peach has installed more of a wing T concept.
I'm really excited about it this year, you know. We have a big returning class, and we've all been together for quite some time now, and to have them all kind of at my command, it's going to be a fun season.
I think our offense is looking really good this year with Cade coming up. Cade's throwing a good ball right now, and we're working really well together on offense, and our line's finally coming together. So I think our offense is really going to be our powerhouse this year.
We're really keeping focusing on the option. That's always been good to us, and there's a lot more, I think, misdirection this year, so that should be exciting.
Brendan Labhart will be the one guy counted on to lead the entire team in nearly every phase, but he's not alone.
He's led us in rushing and tackles for 2 straight years, and he'll be, a senior for us this year. So certainly it would start with him, but we got some other guys, whether it's Cade or Tyler Peters, Blake Franklin, a lot of different people that'll be chipping in as well this season.
For 27 teams in 27 days, I'm Brian Milam.
Thank you, Brian. And if you miss any of 27 teams in 27 days, just go to our website, WKYT.com. Sam Amber, back to you.
A final check of your First Alert forecast is next.
And then on the CBS Evening News, it's Hillary Clinton's big night as she accepts the Democratic Party's nomination for president. A preview of her address. A little bit of clearing there, a drier sky, which is nice to see.
Anything is better than where we have been for the better part of the day. Defender Radar Network still showing showers and thunderstorms into southeastern Kentucky. But we're watching a little clustering of some storms around from the Frankfort area back into southern parts of Indiana. Some of those will try to creep into central Kentucky. Nothing like what we had a little earlier, but keep in mind, ground is pretty wet now. Coming up tonight at 11 or whenever we are on, we will be showing you additional thunderstorms coming up for the weekend.
Be careful when you cross a road with water.
That's right. That's exactly right.
All right.
All right, we'll see you late here tonight.